Good morning, both are on.
Good morning, all.
Okay, time.
And if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Truman Show.
Okay. What?
Truman Show.
That's what it was? I just thought I heard it downstairs. Okay, good. Alright, Gimel. Amazing. Achar hadvarim ha'ela. Gidal. After these things, the king rose up. Hamelech Asherish, the king rose up. Es Haman. We don't bring too much in Yeshiva, right? When Yeshiva's landing.
Depends on the year.
I heard last night Borelowski speak, and he said, halfway through the Megillah, you don't care about Haman anymore. You want to kill that kid who doesn't miss a single Haman. Okay, so he raised up Haman ben Amadasav ha'agagi, and Aseh v'yasem es kisam yal kol aser masher yitay. He promotes him, and advances him, and sees him above all everybody else, and he becomes the Mishnah al-Melech, so to speak. He becomes assistant to the king. V'chol avdei ha'melech asher b'shar ha'melech, and all of the king's slaves could not put him back together. Asher b'shar ha'melech kair mishtachim laHaman, would have to bow down to Haman, ki chein tziva lo ha'melech, because that's what the king commanded. Mordechai lo yifrav lo yishtachava, and Mordechai did not bow down to him. Okay.
What number are we in?
We're holding now by 3.
Page
Gimel.
8.
What?
Page 8.
We're on page 8, yeah. And all the slaves of the king says that sits in the gate of the king, like we said, Mordechai was sitting in the gate of the king. So they see him over there. They say to Mordechai, Madua, why? Why are you transgressing the king's command? Okay. Very simple. Haman is now second to the king. Everybody has to bow down to him. Mordechai is refusing to bow down. He's making kind of a statement. Best they spoke to him daily. Didn't listen to him. And these are a bunch of snitches, and they say to Haman, take a look. Mordechai's not bowing down. Huh? Mordechai? Why do you have to bow down to Haman? Huh? That was a tape when I was a little kid. That was a tape. That's how I learned the Perm story. We also got to learn the song. Here comes Haman. Here comes Haman. Second to the king. Second to the king. Because we bow down to the ground. Because everybody bows when Haman's around. Baloney. Sorry. Okay. We're up to Pasuk. Hey. Now, I'm assuming Haman walked in and out of the gates by this point a couple of times. Never noticed it until they pointed it out. Then he actually paid attention, and then he was upset. Why didn't he just look and see whether or not Mordechai is bowing down or not? No, they have to point it out. What do they point out to him? That he's a Jew. So then he looks for it. Who is Haman? Says Rashi, he's a descendant of Amalek. So, once he heard that a guy's not if a guy stands not bowing down, maybe he has knee problems, maybe he has back problems, well, that's actually every Jew. But, he's not considered. But once he was told that he's a Jew, that he's not bowing down, he had to get upset. And Haman's full of wrath. Wow. But it wasn't right for him. It was a bizayon to kill Mordechai. Because it was because of his nation of Mordechai. So he wants to kill all the Jews that are in the kingdom of Achashverosh, the nation of Mordechai. Kind of extreme. One guy's not bowing down, so you wipe out an entire nation. Clearly, that was not the end. That was just the means to the end. That wasn't the end of Mordechai just dying. He wanted to kill the Jews. Till now, he didn't have an excuse. If you ever listen to anti-Semitism, it's just unbelievable what they say, why they hate us. So he just needed an excuse. It makes no sense when they say they're rich and they control the banks and they're always asking us for money. You know what I mean? Like, it always contradicts each other. So what do they have? You just need to look for an excuse in order to kill them off. Last night, for educational purposes, I thought it was important to watch the bit of Sacha Baron Cohen throw the Jew down the well. And it was unbelievable watching that to people who probably never saw Yidden, never experienced Jews, and yet they had no problem singing along to throw the Jew down the well. so his country will be free. We must grab them by their horns, and then we'll have a big party. We'll have a big party! Yeah? It just makes no sense. All he needed was just an excuse to start off with anti-Semitism. And that's every story in Jewish history. Adolf Hitler, he gets denied by art school, and then he goes on, yada yada yada, and one thing led to another, and then the United States dropped the bomb in Hiroshima. Okay, Vav. Zion. In the first month, which we're counting, we're now holding year 12. Year 3 has the party, year 7 he appoints Esther, year 12 now we're holding. Hipil Pur. Hu Agarel, he makes a lot, that's the lottery. Ufnei Haman, miyayim liyayim umei chaydesh l'chaydesh, shneim asu chaydesh u'chaydesh adar. For Haman they make a lottery for which day and which month, and it ended up coming to the month of Adar. Says the Gemara, why he was happy that it fell out in Adar. Because Moshe Rabbeinu died in Adar, Zion Adar. Somebody asked Rabbi Yonasan David a shtick narishkeit joke. He said, if Moshe Rabbeinu was born in Zion Adar, then his bris was Yudalad Adar. So why was his name Mordechai? So Rabbi Yonasan David looks at the guy blankly and he says, because you didn't know the Medrash that says Moshe Rabbeinu, he talks, that Moshe Rabbeinu was born with a bris already, so he was born on Moshe Rabbeinu's yard site. Anyway, so the Gemara says he knew that Moshe Rabbeinu died in Adar, but he didn't know that Moshe Rabbeinu was born in Adar. If you knew all that information, what do you mean he didn't know that Moshe Rabbeinu was born? So it's very simple. He made the cheshbon. Moshe Rabbeinu died. We go by death. We go by end of an era, and that's it. The era ended. Who cares when it started? Okay, it could be it started in Adar, but why should it make a difference? We, on the other hand, we value life. We celebrate life. We celebrate a birthday as well as we celebrate. We commemorate. I want to say a death date. But he was happy that it fell out in Adar. So now Haman needs to get his plan passed. So he says to the king Achashverosh, there's one nation. One nation all together. Actually not. It's scattered amongst the nations. And all the different provinces of your kingdom. And their laws are different than everybody else. And they don't do the laws of the king. You should not tolerate them. Get rid of them. We're holding pasuk das. So it's good for the king. Destroy them. And now I'll pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those who have charge of the business to bring it into the king's treasuries. I don't know, money always gets into the story somehow. Okay. But so the king takes off his ring from his hand. He gives it to Haman ben Hammedah. He gives it to Haman, who is the enemy of the Jews. Why do you have to say now that Haman is the enemy of the Jews? Because he's just selling his pitch to Achashverosh. Achashverosh has no idea which nation he's talking about. And he won't know until the end of the Purim story. So the Megillah has to inform us now that Haman is the enemy of the Jews. He wants to kill the Jews in case he's deciding to kill somebody else first, with saying there's one nation that doesn't listen to your laws. So the Megillah has to make it clear who he's talking about now. Another thing is he takes off his ring. That is the power of the king. Meaning whoever has the ring, is the king trusts completely to make laws in his name. A ring is a very, very powerful thing. That's how they used to seal all their letters. That's how they stamp approval. The ring, the signet ring, was a very, very big deal. And the king says to Haman, the silver is given to you, and people too. Which, by the way, it's interesting that it points out that this was a sale over here. He was making them like slaves, which we'll see later on. And do with them whatever you want to do. I don't want to hear from it. I don't want to be busy with it. You do whatever you want. The king's scribes were called on the 13th day of the first month, which was Yud Gimel Nisan. This will be interesting in the story. And they wrote whatever Haman commanded them. To the messengers of the king. Remember we said Medina. Why it has to be to provinces and their writing, and to each nation and their language. It has to be okay. I'm writing it in the king. I'm writing a law. I'm signating with the king's ring, but it still has to be b'shem Achashverosh. I want to still be able to blame it on Achashverosh. If anything goes south, I want to blame it on Achashverosh. Okay. And they sent it out. They sent out books, letters, courier with the couriers. To kill, to destroy, kill, and annihilate. All the Jews from toddlers to old, young children to old people, tavanashim, toddlers and women. On one day, on the 13th of Adar, in the 12th month, which is Adar, on the 13th, Rishlam Levais, and plunder their goods. Basically, take all their riches, do whatever you want with them, just kill them. Why Yom Echad? Why does it have to be on one day? Sometimes I lay under the moon and thank God I'm breathing. One day. Why one day? Very interesting. Why not a week? We'll have a nice killing spree for a week. What are the chances to get everybody? Oh, so now he's making it in Nisan. Adar's not for 12 months away. So he gets to build hype. He gets all the letters to spread to all far places of the world. He gets to build hype, and if you just tell somebody, kill him. Well, if I'm telling him a month you're going to kill him, you'll build up the guts to do it. Maybe that's why he waits 12 months. Why one day? So I heard an unbelievable shot. Haman was evil through and through. And he knew he was going to be successful. We see. He knew he was going to be successful. But on the chance he was not successful, he knew if he loses and the Jews win, then we're going to make a holiday. And if he made it 7 days, we're going to have a 7-day holiday. So he couldn't let that happen. So he only has one day. If I fail, you guys are only getting 1 day of party. That was Haman's reason for Yom Echad. I don't know if that's the actual pshat, but I think it's a good pshat. I think it's reasonable. Okay. What's the Jewish slogan? They tried to kill us, they didn't. Let's eat. Yeah. The covenant decree was given out as law in every province to be proclaimed to all the people that they should get ready for that day. Like I said, they should get ready with the build-up, the hype. Bring Nazi Germany in for a second. There were first Nuremberg laws. And then they built up this, and then it finally led up, that was 4 years in the making, it led up to Kristallnacht. Which was just, if they just said, do Kristallnacht, I don't know how many would have done it. But once they built it up, and the Nuremberg laws, then people they were not humans, and this and that. And eventually they were able to be soldiers gunning down people by a river. People are naturally Rachmanis. Rachmaniyas. Whatever. It's Hebrew, who knows? Jews are Rahman b'nei Rahman. We're merciful beyond merciful, but non-Jews have a certain amount of mercy to them. So how does somebody go ahead and just gun down 50 people? And shovel people into stoves and gas chambers? They're somewhat humanitarians. Naturally. It's called building up hype. It's called building up laughter. It's called convincing people over a long period of time that they're not humans. He said they're the facilla, you have to get rid of all of them, even one Jew, you gotta get rid of everybody. But it doesn't just come one day. I put a gun in your hand and you say, go shoot, and you're not gonna go shoot, you can't do that. Once you've been thinking about it for a while, okay, maybe it's not so bad, and you'll start being a Myra Heti, you say it's this, it's okay, because it's really mitzvah, and Hashem wants it. Haratzim yatzid d'chufim or pasuk tetzelav. V'dvar melech v'adasim v'tnar b'shanam v'yirav v'melech hamvaman yashul lishtois. It hurried out. And the decree was given out in Shushan already that day. This is the 13th, that day in the morning, so I would assume. When the king and Haman sit down to drink, they got their law passed. But the city of Shushan was crying. Says Rashi, the Jews in the city were crying. They're about to get killed. Well, in a year from now, with the decree, they know it already starts now. I saw one of the Pierce farm on the Megillah, that it wasn't just the Jews crying in Shushan. The entire city was crying. Because now they realized Achashverosh has the power to wipe out an entire nation. Who knows who's next? That's why a lot of non-Jews in the Holocaust saved a lot of Jews, because they could be just next. Pillar might decide, now Polish are the inferior race, or blacks are the inferior. He did, and the gays are inferior race. Whatever it was, and it's just that power that they had, that they could just wipe out one nation. People didn't want that sort of power because you never know where that power will go, and it usually leads to that downfall. So the entire city was crying, not just the Jews that were there. Okay, we're at the beginning of Perek Daled. Mordechai Yada Eskal Asher Nasa. Mordechai knew everything that went on. Vayikra Mordechai es begadav, and he tore his clothing. Vayilbash sak ve'efer. He donned sackcloth and ashes on his head, which is a sign of mourning. Yeah. A chassan also when he goes into the chuppah, he wears ashes on his forehead also, because Zeichel Churban, you're supposed to also be in a certain state of mourning when you're walking into the chuppah. By my father's chuppah, they forgot to bring a little thing of ashes to put on my father's head. So my grandfather, who was a heavyset guy and a huge smoker, he was no problem. Pulls out a cigarette, lights up, and ashes into the Rosh Yeshiva's hand. Wow. Mordechai Yada. Isn't that good genes? Mordechai Yada is Kalash and Nasa. Mordechai Yada was Savever. Vayetzim V'Seichi Yer, and he goes out to the middle of the city. V'Yizak Ze'akal Gedela Umara. And he cries out a loud, bitter cry. Listen, they're about to get killed. You got to do whatever it is. And this is on the day that the law gets sent out. And he goes up until the gate, not by the gate. Because no one could go into the king's gate with that kind of clothing. You can't walk like that. Certain places you can't walk around either. So he goes up until, even though he had to make a statement enough that he's going to go close enough, but he's not going to go by the actual gate because it's not b'chleidik. It's not b'kavadik. Okay? That's what Rashi says. In every province that had already reached, which was only the first day that the law reached, it was a great day of mourning and fasting and crying and just eulogies, and everybody was just wearing sackcloth and ashes. Kind of scary stuff. There's nothing like die tomorrow or die in a year. There's nothing like knowing the date. And every Jew is now doing tshuva. They realize could be this decree is maybe from when they went to the party 9 years earlier. For keeping the cheshbon. Okay. But Tavaina, now writes Esther said, Desmaids and servants came and told her, and the king was exceedingly distressed. She told him that Mordecai's out and by the front over there, he's wearing sackcloth and ashes, and that's her uncle. So he says, we're going to send him new clothes. Maybe he ran out of some clothing. Maybe the dry cleaners was closed, and she sends him new clothing, and he refuses to take them. Vatikra Esther lahasach, as you say, Melech, and Esther calls to a guy named Hasach, who is one of the servants, Shem Lefanel, who was one of her bodyguards, to go to Mordechai and ask what's going on over there. What are you dressing like this? So Hasach went to Mordechai in the street of the city before the king's gate. Mordechai tells him over, everything's going on, verses Kesed about the money, Now one promised to pay the king's treasury for destroying the Jews. He's paying off the king. He gave a copy of the written decree, because everybody was handing out the flyers, that was charged to Shushan to destroy them, to show it to Esther, and to declare it to her, and charge her that she should go to the king to make a request to him to save Fun of Alama, to make a request to the people not to kill them, I guess. And Hasach came and told Esther what Mordechai had just said. And Esther said to Hasach and commanded Mordechai. Like the whole psukim just showing the conversation back and forth. How it had to go through a messenger. So what does Esther tell Mordechai to do? Everybody knows in the kingdom. Everybody knows. Because everyone knows, yes, everyone knows, that no one's allowed to go to the king's palace without permission, without getting called. And everyone knows that you could get killed if you go to the king's castle, into his inner chambers, without being called. So Esther is saying over here, I can't go, everybody knows this. I'm going to get killed. What do you mean, to go to the king's house? If he calls me, then no problem. Levad, what is the exception? Except if he holds out his scepter, his silver scepter, and then you live, you touch it and you live. I have not been called to the king the past 30 days, so I'm not just showing up there unannounced. And they told to Mordechai the words of Esther. Esther. So now Mordechai says back to return to Esther. Al tidami b'nafshech. Don't think of yourself. Think not of what you could do for what your country could do for you. Think what of you could do for the country. Must be really interesting eating in the what's it called? What was the guy's name? The Kennedy household. Imagine sitting by dinner. Think not of what the chicken could do for you. Think of what you could do for the chicken. Baruch Hashem. He was killed, right? Anyways, you're right. You were in America at the time? No. Me neither. Anyway, think not of yourself that in the king's palace you shall escape any more than all the Jews. I just heard this last night. They found after World War II that Adolf Hitler, who's actually my Rebbe, by the way. What? Adolf Hitler is my Rebbe. No, you don't agree? You know what he taught me? He taught me that no matter what Jew has, which background the Jew has, no matter what sect he is, Hasidish, Litvish, Sephardim, secular, completely Zionistic, anything, Chiloni, everything. He's a Jew. And if he could hate them, I could love them. Adolf Hitler told me that. We needed him to tell us. He didn't make a difference. Even your grandfather was Jewish, you were a Jew. So Adolf Hitler had, in his bunker, in his cabinet, in his office, whatever, a globe that said a number on each place in the world where there were Jews. He had written on New York, 6 million, which is the story with Rameir Lau. Rameir Lau went to visit Ed Koch. Anyone know who Ed Koch was?
Sure. He was mayor when I was a kid.
Really?
10 years ago?
Yeah, 10, 15 years ago, that's it. And now there's a bridge named after him. When Rameir Lau went to visit Ed Koch said, by the way, you should know, Rameir Lau survived, he got liberated in 45. He was a 7, 8-year-old kid. Or actually, maybe a 6-year-old kid. He said, Ed Koch says to Rameir Lau, you should know I'm also a Holocaust survivor. Which is a very bold statement because he grew up in the Bronx in New York. So what did he mean? He said they found in Hitler's bunker a globe with all numbers, and on New York, he had written 6 million. He was planning on killing every single Jew in the world. There was some random place in Africa where they found a map from Nazi Germany that said on it, Moshe. Which he was referring to that there were Jews there. So, the Mashgiach of Lakewood, Rav Wachtvogel, related by his father, Nassim Wachtvogel, they brought him this map. This is an unbelievable story. They brought him this map, and they said, there's Jews in this certain area, should we go try to find them? He says, maybe it's one of the 10 lost tribes, I don't know. Hitler had guys going all over the world telling them exactly where the Jews were, and to just knock them out. So he said, I'm going to send somebody to this place to see. So he picked somebody by the name of Rabbi Lenchitz, who passed away about 2 years ago. He was a Rebbe of mine's brother and another Rebbe of mine's uncle, my father and son. And he asked him to go find this place where these Jews were. The day that he was scheduled to leave, his son fell off his bike, broke his leg. His wife was busy with another kid who also got sick or fell or something, and he couldn't leave because he had to take care of his son. Okay. He reschedules it for 6 months later. The day that he's supposed to leave, his house burns down. I think that's a sign you should not be going. It's not time yet. But every single Jew. And on this globe, Hitler had written in some random place, I just heard this last night, on one place that had, I think, a number 5 on it. Just 5 Jews. Yet he was going to send in a battalion to take him out. Every Jew, one neshama could save everybody. One neshama, one Yiddish neshama. Do you realize what that means? I love it. Okay, for you, if you remain silent at this time, Revach Vatzalah. No, Hatzalah. Not. Yeah, consider. We have to have all our saving efforts, our Hatzalah efforts, our Revach experts. The only time I ever hear Revach Hatzalah is when I daven by the Kaisel with a Sephardi minion. Revach Hatzalah, Revach Hatzalah, Revach Hatzalah. I just yell it at random and then they look at me. I'm like, I don't know, it's Revach Hatzalah. Anyway, he was telling her, no matter what, you will be found. They will figure out that you're Jewish eventually. Right now they don't know. But if all the Jews are gone and they still feel a presence of Kedusha, because there's a small piece of heaven in everyone's heart, glory's gift from above. I'm available. See you on Thursday by the Yeshiva's luncheon. Don't think of yourself, because even if you survive it, they'll figure out that you're a Jew. How do you know if somebody's a Jew? What does the Gemara say by now? Simane Yisrael Uma. I only know it from the Avram Fried song. Simane Yisrael Uma. By Shanim v'Rachmanim v'Gam lechasadim. They embarrass. Rachmanim, they're merciful. V'Gam lechasadim, and they do chesed. So it's not that hard to pick out a Jew. It's not that hard. So don't think of yourself. And if you remain silent, then this is Revach Hatzalah. This is we need everybody's efforts. Rabbi Michal Bar Weissbandel in the war, he was literally he was dealing with life and death. He was sitting there bribing Nazis, and he was in the underground. He actually got captured with his wife and kids. He jumped out of the train, survived, and ended up negotiating with Nazis to save Jews, but he needed money to bribe the Nazis. And he kept sending telegrams to America to please send money. And they were only sending minimal amounts, and he was only able to send minimal people. And the Nazis at times thought he was bluffing, and they didn't let it go, and then he got a train out, and then they realized they didn't pay yet. It was crazy. He didn't have a choice. At a time for Hatzalah, you don't think twice. You do whatever you gotta do. Saving someone, you do whatever you gotta do. Well, it may not go into my schedule. That's life and death we're talking. Rav Noach used to say that about in the Kira world as well. It's life and death. You do whatever you gotta do. Imagine if they were killing 100,000 people in the United States. We would get an army. We would figure out exactly where the enemy is. We would figure out how to counterattack, all that stuff. You do whatever you gotta do. And we all have an acharis to that. So one second, so Michal Bar Weissbandel, after the war, he came to America. He went to America. We're in Eretz Yisrael, Yerushalayim. He goes to America and he opens up a yeshiva in Mount Kisco, and he establishes the Nitra Yeshiva over there. Now, Michal Bar Weissbandel was a known rabbi, so people came to ask him for brachas and requests, and his first question to them was, what did you do in the Holocaust? How much money did you give? And the guy would say, listen, I have a business, a family. And he would say to them, you are a tzach. You're a murderer. Get out. I don't want to talk to you. At a time of desperate pleas for the Jews to save people, you got to get up and do it. You got to get up and save it. You'll risk your own life. Okay. Serious nefesh. Yeah. He's telling her, be meiser nefesh. This is not just on you, this is for everybody. You have the power right now to do something about it because you're in a position as the queen of Persia. But you gotta do something about it. They're gonna kill you and the house of your father. What do you mean the house of your father? Your father was dead. Good question. Moving on. And who knows whether you have not come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Hashgacha pratis rabbaisai. Hashgacha pratis. Who knows what position you're in? When you're in a certain situation, this is just unbelievable. You don't know why you're in that situation. Why Esther had to be dragged to the king. She didn't want to go. She gets dragged to the king. The king likes her immediately, automatically marries her. And she has to sit there for 5 years. Yeah? And it was status quo, whatever it was. Maybe this is the reason why Vashti had to get killed. Haman throws a party, requests Vashti has to get killed, that's making a beauty pageant, you get dragged in order for Haman, when Haman makes this decree, you could be the one to stand up to Achashverosh. You realize the hashgacha pratis there. So you never know what situation you're in. Maybe that's the reason why you're in it. And you might understand it now. You'll understand it later. I can tell you from my own life, if you choose to look at it, you'll definitely see the hashgacha pratis. You'll see where everything works out. You were needed at that exact moment for a reason. Unbelievable. But time Esther lahasha Mordechai, we're up to pasuk Tezvav. When Esther said to return to Mordechai, like Kenais, Eskala Yehudim, go gather all the Jews on Nimtzam B'Shushan that are in Shushan. V'tzumu alai, and fast for me. Do not eat or drink 3 days. It's something I try to do once in a while. It's not easy. Laila v'yayim, night and day. Me and my girls with him in the palace will fast as well. And with that, I'll go to the king, which is against the law. And if I perish, I perish. You're right. I gotta do whatever it takes. And whatever happens to me happens. Mordechai went on his way, and he did according to all that Esther had commanded him. Which is why we fast Tainus Esther. It's not on the same date as their fast, because their fast is going to be, it starts on Yom Gimel that day, Laila V'Yayim. So the night of that was the night of the 14th, 15th, 16th. Yidal Tazal Tazayin. Right, the second party was, she was able to break her fast for the second party, we'll get to that. But we do a fast as a zeicher, as a remembrance for that fast, and understanding what it means that she needed everything. We needed 3 days of people to realize what real tshuva is. And signing off. If you like this video and other videos, please subscribe to our channel. The link is below.